As Cindy was about to take a bite from her delicious cupcake, a random thought crossed her mind. "How are bones made?" she said. She wondered long and hard and decided to use Google and research and even checked out her anatomy textbook. She did some research and found out that bones are made through a process called intramembranous ossification. This process is taking place in the deeper layers of the dermis and starts about the 8th week of embryonic development. Intramembranous ossification is the development of bones from the loosely organized embryonic connective tissue called mesenchyme. Mesenchyme is going to be portrayed by this red poster here. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty of it. The green candy beads are representing the mesenchymal cells or osteogenic cells, and they group together to differentiate into osteoblasts. The osteoblast is represented by the gusher, and the osteoblast goes through this process called ossification or osteogenesis to produce the bone matrix. This gusher or osteoblast is emitting proteins and other organic components of the matrix. The secreted components are called osteoid. The site where this whole process is taking place is called the ossification center. Then calcification occurs. The osteoid is getting mineralized by these calcium salts represented by these white candy beads. It is with the aid of the enzyme alkaline phosphatase to form the bone matrix. As this goes on, some of the osteoblasts are trapped into bony pockets called the lacunae. They are then differentiated into osteocytes, or mature bone cells, which are represented by the pink candy beads. These cells develop the bones by growing outward from the ossification center in small struts called spicules, which is represented by the cupcakes. The rate at which the bone grows depends on the oxygen and nutrients supplied by blood. As the developing bone is continuing to grow, the blood vessels are trapped within the interconnected spicules. The blood vessels are represented by the red veins. Bone is continuing to be developed and becomes a plate of spongy bone with blood vessels weaving throughout. Over time, the spongy bone is remodeled around the blood vessels, and areas of the bone are turning into thin covering of compact bone. Bone remodeling means to recycle and renew the organic and mineral components of the bone matrix. The remodeling produces osteons, which are the concentric layers around the blood vessels, represented by the blue candy beads. The vessels are in a vascular central canal known as the Haversian canal. The space within the spongy bone is known as the medullary cavity, which is protected by a layer of compact bone. The medullary cavity contains either red bone marrow for blood cell formation or yellow bone marrow for lipid storage. The osteoblast and connective tissue along the surface of the bone is the periosteum, which is represented by the purple candy beads. It is a membrane with a fibrous outer layer and a cellular inner layer. The intramembranous ossification process results in dermal bones during fetal development. Dermal bones are flat bones that provide protection to the underlying soft tissues and resemble a sandwich with layers of spongy and compact bones. The flat bones that result from the process include the skull, mandible, and clavicle. Now that Cindy knows how bones are made, she is able to eat her cupcake in peace.